Well, hello there, Gemini. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing your February 2023 tarot reading. So this is a general reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you're watching as your sun sign and you're not resonating with it, you may want to check out your moon or rising sign. There may be a message there for you. And if you're enjoying the content that I create, I'd really appreciate if you would consider commenting, or subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support. Okay, let's get into your animal spirit. Rabbit spirit, now is the lucky time. We just had the Chinese New Year, and it's the year of the water rabbit, the rabbit. Rabbits, when I think of rabbits, it's they reproduce very quickly. It's, a lot of hopping. It's a lot of going. It's a lot of, new projects, new babies, new projects. And it's also that energy kind of bringing in the energy of the Empress, and I love that energy for you because it really is this energy of, okay, it's go time. It's lucky time. On the 23rd, all the planets went direct. And they will be direct. All planets will be direct for the next 3 months. So it is this kind of embracing this lucky time. What is it that you have been really wanting to birth or to bring into this world, right? Is it a project? Is it a new career, a new relationship? It's something in the material world that you have been wanting for some time. And it's kind of this is the time, Gemini. You are the manifester, you are the magician, and you have all the tools. It's time to recognize, it's almost kind of like the stars are aligned for you. And value and courage, take action with passion. Oh my gosh, Gemini, this is your time. I feel like this is truly coming into your time. And I know you've had such great energy lately, but there is, angels of healing are with you, healing any self-doubt. It's the energy of, am I really ready for this? Do I have the courage? Do I have the perseverance? Yes, you do. You do. And it's time to step into that valiant courage. Yeah. So we're going to take a look at the tarot. We're going to take a look at your present energy, then the obstacle or the area of resistance over this next month. But remember, that is what you are going to be overcoming over the next 4 or 5 weeks. And then we'll take a look at advice from Spirit about what's your next best step to help you to overcome your obstacles. Okay, so one of the things is we have in your present energy, clean it up. I feel like a lot of you in your comments lately have been talking about cleaning out, your house, cleaning out relationships, people, situations that are no longer good for you, cleaning out beliefs, right? Limiting beliefs that you have of yourself, right? Patterns of behavior. We started a new year, and it's kind of like some of you have been commenting that you're trying to take better care of yourself, eating more healthy, exercising, whatever, meditating, starting practices that are really good for you to help put you in alignment with your higher self. So I feel like this is that energy where you are cleaning out any of the old, and I think you've been doing this for some time, but cleaning out all of the old, literally decluttering, but it's not just your house. It is your house, but it's your relationships. It's your mindset. It's, your habits. It's kind of really, I feel like in that end of that Capricorn energy, it was really about, okay, what do I really want to take forward in this beautiful Aquarian energy? And what do I really need to leave behind? It's time to clean that out and to finish doing that cleaning out if you are still in the process. Sometimes that's something I'm always kind of I just cleaned this closet out 2 months ago. Why do I have to clean it out again? But understanding that is a part of maintaining our highest self, right? Maintaining that higher vibration and energy. I once read that, once they finish painting the Golden Gate Bridge, they go back to the beginning and start painting it again. It takes so long to paint it. It's that type of energy, just recognizing that some of those things that we are constantly cleaning out, they need to be reassessed on, on a regular basis. Whether it's a closet, a relationship, a job, our mindset about money or our limiting beliefs, it's a constant realignment, right? A constant realignment, because by decluttering, you're allowing the light to come in so that you can move forward. You can find the success, the progress, the victory that you are seeking. And I really love that, because I feel like with the swords, this is a 6 of swords. To me, it's kind of like coming out of that energy of what has been holding you back. Really taking a good look at what has been holding me back, and how can I face that fear? How can I move through that energy? How can I find the courage to stand up and shine and, shine brightly, share my love, my light, my gifts, my talents with other people? How can I show up in the world in a much brighter way? Because the angels of healing are with you. And it says a time of healing is about to bless your life. Accept Archangel Raphael's emerald green light while I enhance your strength. So I feel like it's kind of like almost like a matter of the heart. And interesting, you have fear on the bottom. Yeah, it's kind of like your limiting beliefs, your fears are holding you back. Like one day you could have a lot of courage. I'm going for it, right? And then the next day you're kind of like, you chicken out, right? It's, oh my gosh, I had something like that the other day. And I was just like, honestly, I was really disappointed in myself. I was going to speak up in this class, and it was just kind of like, I'm going to do it. And then at the very moment where I had my chance, I just chickened out. And when I came home, I was really I really sat with it. Like, why did I chicken out? And so it's kind of like that type of thing. You could have had something similar to what I had recently. And you're kind of like, yeah, why did I chicken out? Why didn't I step up and shine my light? Why didn't I speak my truth? Why did I hold back? Or why am I holding back? If you feel like it's kind of almost a pattern in your life, it's about having the courage of knowing, okay, when I step forward and I speak my truth, there could be some conflict in my life. So not everybody's going to like what it is that you have to say. And, we are kind of coming into a society where we are sometimes afraid to say what we're going to say, especially if you're trying to start a business or something like that, because you don't want to be, canceled or whatever. There is that kind of that energy around in this, kind of like, if I speak my truth, who is not going to like it? Do I have the courage, right? Not only, okay, if somebody speaks up against me, do I have the courage to continue to stand up for myself, or am I going to back down? That's that back and forth energy. It's kind of like, maybe if somebody speaks against you, you immediately retract what you said, or you back down, but this is part of your transformation. Understanding that the truth that you have about yourself, it is literally a message. And then look at happy. It literally is like a message from the divine that this is what you are meant to do, or this is the direction you are supposed to go in. To have the courage to know, it's almost like I feel like the angels are here to kind of protect you, to kind of keep. It's interesting because I think I did a life purpose video up on Sunday, and it was the naysayers, don't let the naysayers stop you. It's that a little bit of that energy, just being afraid of who might not like what you have to say or what you want to do, right? And then backing down. And it could be people that are in your life that are really important to you, but you're kind of like, every time you stand up and say, I'm going to start my own business, they're kind of like, well, what about your 401k? Or, they start naysaying what it is that you want to do. Or why do you think that you're capable of doing that? Like they start questioning it, and then you start backing down. So be aware of that. You really are being called to have the courage, right? Definitely. Courage is coming out twice. Have the courage. This is part of your transformation. Knowing that you are a star, knowing that it is time for you to shine your light brightly, to step into that spotlight, and not to back down. Yeah, and then you also have open up to your spiritual gifts. So Gemini, I really feel like a lot of you are being called to use your spiritual gifts to help other people, whether that is going to be your primary business, or if it's something that you're doing on the side, or even volunteering, however you are wanting to do, use your spiritual gifts. It's this big awakening. It's time to know you do have something to say. And what you have to say is going to help others heal. Yeah, really interesting. I also am doing spiritual business tarot readings, and both of those, the life purpose and the spiritual business, are up on Sundays, and I'll link those to the end of this video. But if you are thinking about going into a spiritual business or using your gifts in some way to help others, you may want to check those out. Okay, so what is your obstacle? What is your area of resistance? Yeah, you're having a hard time finding new supportive connections. So this is that energy where, and Gemini, you've had this for about 6 months. You're having a hard time. The people that are surrounding you, the people in your life, are not completely supportive of what you want to do, they're not in the same mindset. So you could be, using your spiritual gifts, opening up to your spiritual gifts, and people in your life could be kind of like, naysayers or something like that. So you're looking, one of the things is that where do I find new supportive connections? I love the fact that, I think that the internet is now becoming a place where we can kind of reach out, even if people aren't in our vicinity, in our area. There are becoming better ways to connect with other people. Okay, so you have the Page of Swords, breathe and open your heart. No one is perfect. Stop judging yourself and others and let love heal this situation. Yeah, it's time to kind of breathe and to step into, speak your truth. Like, the energy here is, I feel it's just like me the other day, and I just cannot get myself to speak up. And so I feel like it's kind of like you have something to say, but it's taking a lot of courage to say it. And it could be, maybe you're trying to start a blog or write a book or start a YouTube video, right? Or Instagram or something like that. And you have something to say, you have something to share, right? You have some healing powers, however that is for you. It's time to share your story, your gifts with the world. But I feel like you have to take a deep breath before you do it, right? It's kind of like, okay, just take a deep breath. Know that your angels are there with you. They're helping you. That you are not alone in this, and to open up your heart, to know, that it says stop judging yourself. I think that's the point. You're perhaps feeling like, am I an imposter? Are my spiritual gifts real? Am I an imposter? Why do I think I'm a guru? I feel like there are people in your life that are also saying that to you. I know when I first awakened, I had people in my life that were kind of like, what, have you, gone off the deep end? We've all experienced that. I'm sure you have too, where you kind of almost question, what is going on. Once you understand it, right, you can start opening your heart to realizing that those people that don't understand it, they just don't understand it because they haven't stepped into it, right? And it's like you have to still love them. You can't judge them because they haven't awakened. But you also, okay, there is no right time, right, to awaken. And we all have our own path once we do awaken, and awaken to your spiritual gifts, to know that you are being called. They're saying, no, you have what you need. You have the wisdom, you have the knowledge, you have the ability to help others. And so it's time to kind of like step onto that path, to say what you have to say. And, there is that energy. Will you continue to learn as you're on your path? Sure, you will. But there are people that are just coming, just awakening, that want to hear your story, that can benefit from your healing energy, what you have been able to already accomplish on your spiritual path. Okay, so let's see. Yes, look at this. Look, so you have, the Six of Swords, we have it again. It's kind of understanding. You really have moved away from the turbulent times into a time of calmer waters, of more peaceful time, because you're stepping into this energy of truly making decisions that are based on your heart. And that is difficult, Gemini, but you've been doing that for some time. It's almost kind of like, the first time, it's kind of like the first time that you spoke out about the way that you see the world, or perhaps about your gifts or something, was probably the scariest, right? And you could have gotten a lot of negative feedback. And then the second time, it wasn't quite as scary. And maybe you weren't quite as sensitive to any negative feedback. And then the more that you speak your truth, you share your wisdom, you share your story, the easier it is going to get. It's almost kind of like practice makes perfect, and it's not perfect. I don't mean it that way, but it is. It's kind of like practice makes it easier. Whether you're practicing in front of a mirror, or you're practicing in front of a small group, you're practicing one-on-one with somebody, whatever it is. It's kind of like when I first stepped into tarot, I practiced with my friends. And to be honest, at first I was like, well, I kind of know my friends, so maybe I don't really have a spiritual gift here, an intuitive gift. I'm just, I just know my friends, so I'm reading the cards that will fit for her, right? And then but I was kind of like, I'm going to keep practicing with my friends because they were, they thought it was pretty cool, right? And they were open to it. Then I had a friend that had somebody that was coming in from out of town that I did not know. I knew nothing about her. And she was like, will you do a reading for her? And I was really scared because I was like, oh my gosh, this is the first person that I know nothing about. And it really resonated with her. And it was like that first time I was really scared, right? And then I just started practicing with more and more, people that I did not know, strangers. It helps you to build your own confidence, whatever your gift is. It could be that maybe at this time, you have a gift, but you're not sure. You're kind of questioning, do I really have a gift or not? A little bit fearful, that kind of hoping that you do, but you're really not sure. I totally get that. And it's kind of like the more that you hear from other people, yes, okay, that resonates, or however that works, for your gift, whatever that may be. People commenting, oh my goodness, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your gifts. It has truly helped me, So I feel like there's a message there to not give up, to keep going, that every time we practice our spiritual gifts, that we will get more at ease with them, right? Because some of you may have overcome big hurdles to actually even accept the fact that you have a spiritual gift. All right, so let's take a look at your advice here. We have the Two of Swords, the loving man, the thinker, and prayer from the heart. Prayer really can move mountains. Reach out to the divine with your heart's concerns and watch miracles unfold. Yeah, once again, I have an angel journal. I've shared this many times, and here's the angel, right? I mean, I write in it daily. I say, dear angels, and I write down all of my worries, my concerns. And then the last sentence is always, something like, I give these up to you. Recognizing that, when you step onto your path, the angelic realm, the divine will come in to help protect you, but also to help unblock any obstacles that are on your path. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. So with the loving man, the energy I'm getting here is kind of like the King of Cups. It's time for you to no longer block your own love, your own open heart for what it is, okay, that you are wanting to do. It's kind of like stepping back into your own heart space, loving the gift. For some of you, it's almost this energy where you think you have a gift, or you know that you have a gift, right? And it's kind of like, I don't know, would that be like an oxymoron? But it's something like, the energy where you have a gift, but you are perhaps getting a lot of conflict from people in your life, and you're kind of almost wishing I didn't have this gift. Or you may be feeling called to use your gift, and you're getting a lot of conflict from the people in your life. And it's kind of like, wow, this is a beautiful gift, but I'm not sure I would really want to use it. And what the energy here is that you're blocking the gift from actually blossoming, okay? Because it's about taking a look at every part of you, including your spiritual gift, and loving it and saying, oh my goodness, I have this beautiful gift. It's time for me to share my gift with others. And there could be a lot of times people on a spiritual path that are being opened up to their gifts have been on a very difficult path. They've had a lot of trauma or difficult relationships in their life. So it's also blocking it because it's like, well, once I step out there and I start sharing my story, right? What kind of feedback am I going to get? It's kind of like, if you've been through already a lot of trauma, and I send you lots of love and hugs, for the trauma that you have experienced, and you're almost shutting down your heart because you're like, I don't know if I want to open myself up to any more trauma or any more people not liking me, right? Because you could have been through, even in childhood, have had a lot of occurrences of being rejected or abandoned. Those were instances that actually helped to build up your courage. And that is what the divine is saying. Do not allow your fears of being rejected or abandoned. You have been perhaps in the past rejected or abandoned, but you survived it. Not only did you survive it, you're thriving, right? You have truly healed something traumatic in your life. It's giving you the courage. It's just kind of like lifting weights, right? Like you lift weights and your muscles, the first time, and your muscles are really sore, but you just keep doing it. And then pretty soon, it's kind of like you're looking forward to it and it's not as difficult. And I feel like that's the energy here of recognizing, maybe I'm thinking about it too much. Maybe instead of thinking about it, that's what happened to me yesterday in that class. I was thinking about it too much. Instead of just kind of like getting in your heart and I was worried about not being perfect, I have to admit. Just getting into your heart and just recognizing. I feel like this is a really lucky time. The divine has brought in a lot of people that are going to be surrounding you that are actually going to embrace what it is that you are wanting to put out there. Your spiritual gifts or your love, your light, in whatever capacity. It's kind of like the spirit realm is helping you to have an easy entrance into sharing your gifts and talents, creative abilities with others. Really beautiful, because I feel like this is a true transformation where you're recognizing I don't have to have other people approve of what I'm doing. I know what I am here to do. I have special gifts, talents, creative abilities. I'm here to share them. I'm here to help others heal. I'm here to share my story of healing. And so when you step into that energy, it kind of like totally transforms you. Think about that. If you could overcome that limiting belief that if you step into your true authentic self, you will be rejected or abandoned, right? If you could overcome that, if you could look that fear in the eye and say, okay, I recognize that fear, but I still have the courage to do it anyway. My goodness, your life would totally change, right? My life would totally change. I mean, it really is that type of energy where it's kind of like, okay, and for those of us that have gone through traumatic relationships, and have been rejected or abandoned, that once you overcome it, once you realize, okay, I thought that, that was going to I was literally going to die, right? But once you realize, wait a minute, I have myself, I have the divine. I have people in my life that will stand by me. Even if you don't have those people yet, those people are coming because it's showing up in your energy. You do have new supportive connections. It's when you step onto your path and start sharing your story. You will be attracting in people that are wanting to hear your story or wanting the healing benefits that you have with your spiritual gifts. But you're also going to, create a community of people that are like-minded. Really beautiful energy there, Gemini. Okay, let's pull a soul truth card for you. And I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. What else could this mean? Yes. All right, there are always multiple ways to look at every situation. Our first reaction is usually rooted in fears and limiting beliefs. Look at a situation today by stepping outside of the trigger and ask, what else could this mean? Is there something your soul is calling you to learn in this moment? Or is there a pattern that is ready to be broken? Walk in the other person's shoes and see it from their perspective. If it doesn't involve someone else, ask yourself, how is life happening for me right now? Okay, so I'm going to go back to the naysayers just for 1 minute. When I was reading that, I got the message that, if you have awakened and then other people in your life have not yet awakened, right? They don't understand, why you are seeing the world in a different way. Okay, this does bring up a good perspective of stepping back into their shoes, right? It's almost like switch roles because this is probably somebody that's really close to you in your life, right? And so it's kind of like, okay, well, if the roles were reversed and they had awakened and had the feelings, the emotions, the wisdom that you have now, right? And you didn't. Okay, so they have the wisdom and you don't. They've awakened and you haven't. If the roles were reversed, okay, what would that feel like, right? And I feel like a little bit, when I think about it, it's like you are concerned about being rejected and abandoned perhaps by people that don't understand your new way of thinking. But think about it from their perspective. You are now thinking differently than them, right? So they're concerned about being rejected and abandoned because you no longer have the same mindset maybe about, spirituality or religion or, however this may fit into what you are trying to do, or even starting a spiritual business. Some of you may be feeling like you want to quit a job to start a spiritual business, using your gifts and talents, creative abilities to help others, people heal. And so I feel like when I think about it that way, they're also fearful. They're fear because it says, our first reaction is usually rooted in fears and limiting beliefs. They're also fearful. So it's about coming into this, with an open heart, understanding that, they're also the fear. It's just like on both sides. Okay. Really interesting message. If it resonated, I'd love to hear how in the comments. I really do wish you so much love and light, Gemini, on your path. Thank you for shining brightly, and thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey. I wish you much love and light. See you soon. Bye for now.